Welcome back everyone, my name is Echo and I hope you're having a great day. Today's Minecraft video, we're back with a brand new Minecraft animations reactions episode. Today we check out Space Derp bloopers, but also the behind the scenes. So we did the reaction to this last week. If you missed it, I'll leave a link down below. There'll also be a link to the original animation because of course all credit goes to Black Plasma Studios. Without them, I can't do this. Now, if you do enjoy today's reaction, please be sure to hit that like button. The more you support the reactions, the more I'm going to do. And I have a question for you. I'm looking for some completely random new stuff to react to. Like, do you have any suggestions? I've had a couple of people saying, hey, Echo, can you react to Dream's fastest speedrun? Now, I've never seen it, but maybe that's something that we could do. So, yeah, leave some suggestions down below. They don't just have to be Minecraft animations. I can't react to Minecraft music because it just doesn't really feel the same. But anything else, leave it down below. 3, 2, 1, Space Derp, bloopers. Let's go. Be sure to watch the animation first. Already seen it, and it was great. This is where the green guy was leaving in Derp's spaceship. Yo, that is... Wait, is he gonna throw him? Oh! He threw him into the sun. Dude, that is like the perfect freeze frame right there. They really love the Derpzilla meme at Black Plasma Studios. It originated from... What animation was it now? Man, my memory is so bad. But it was one of my most popular reaction videos as well. Anyway... Let's have a little look at this. Could you imagine seeing this guy through that? Yeet! Into the sun you go. Fair play. We're at the BPS HQ. He's gonna turn it over, isn't he?
This video is sponsored by Wondershare Demo Creator.
It said at the start there was going to be a paid promotion. That was actually the perfect time to do it. So we have Wondershare Demo Creator. Alright, let's skip ahead from the promotion and let's go. Oh, it's the duel. Fish versus Blaster. Uno. Oh. Oh. Okay. Fish head. Not expecting that. Here he is, my little derpy friend. Animation over. This was like one of the most questionable things. Oh, he's What? What? The whole pool was the spaceship. Hi there, little green friend. Oh! Oh! Dude! That's just like, give me Black Plasma Studios. Sam, please do an animation where you shrink Derp. Maybe he's like really, really tiny and stuck in the grass. Oh my god. Like, I would totally support that animation. Oh, and he's out of there. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. That was the best bloopers I've seen in a long time, dude. And Among Us. Oh, you know what? You've nailed this bloopers. It's not even over yet. That was such a good scene, by the way. He's like, yeah, seen it before, I'm leaving. I don't blame you, man. Oh, that must... He killed Derp. Of course. The animation is revived. I feel so sorry for the green guy because that's all he wants to do is to make a spaceship. R.I.P. Clayman. Did that actually happen in the animation? You gave him a gun last time and it wasn't a good idea. I shouldn't really do it again. Get out of here. You know what, guys? The Among Us one was by far my favorite. Where is it? We gotta find it. We gotta find it, dude. This one, dude. This. Dude, that was great. That was such a good blooper moment. Alright, guys. We do have the behind the scenes. So it's all fun and games watching these bloopers and the animations. But it's really good to appreciate where these animations started. So let's go to the behind the scenes. So this specific animation was crafted and made by Samuel Kaiba, who did a fantastic job. Now we're about to find the whole process that goes into making an animation such as the Space Derp. So 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Hello there, Samuel Kaiba here with the behind the scenes to Space Derp. For this animation, I wanted to explore space. Sci-fi is a big passion of mine, and I enjoyed telling stories in that setting.
Okay.
As evident by some of my animations.
Ah, okay. So Samuel Kaiba, I'm going to hide this up a little bit. Samuel Kaiba is the genius behind the space and the sci-fi animations. Okay, I respect that.
We haven't seen a Derp story in a while, so I adapted the idea around him. I wrote a few simple bullet points, then expanded them into more detailed notes. I wanted a mix of fun adventure with a sense of danger and mystery.
That's so good.
Ultimately end on a happy...
Wait, we need to try and split this between... Hold on.
Adventure with a sense of danger and...
See what I mean? Like, you go from some very basic... I don't want to say basic, it still looks really good, but you really appreciate the lighting that goes into things like this and the shading.
Mystery, but ultimately end on a happy note. I started with a bunch of different ideas, like Derp falling through a wormhole, running...
I was just reading that. Let's read these. The ship could run out of fuel and he's stranded in space. Crash land on the moon and has to survive. Drifts to an unknown part of space, flies through a wormhole and ends up in another dimension. Lands on the moon and meets a new character. Could be a mob from Tekkit. The moon is made of cheese and he flies there to take some. Derp looks through a telescope and sees his fish on the moon, goes to rescue it. Someone could have stolen it. Finds a piece of technology on the moon. The fish flew there itself. Someone stole it or went through a portal. Okay, my favorite one there is the moon was made of cheese. Should have made it out of cheese.
Running out of fuel in space, or finding out the moon was made of cheese.
Cheese!
I landed on the alien idea because I wanted to have a dynamic between two characters rather than just Derp on his own. The animation starts with the sheer power of a rocket to hook people right from the beginning. This rocket design was based on the SpaceX Falcon Heavy. I modified an existing design I found on Planet Minecraft. The map I used was a Kerbal Space Program launch site. The link will be in the description.
Okay. So it's from Planet Minecraft. Okay. So that's where they got a couple of their assets from.
However, it didn't have any vegetation, so I brought in a few tree and grass assets, created a hair particle system on the ground, which generated a vegetation around the whole map. I always enjoy watching the SpaceX launches, so I put David, Dan and myself on the sofa, watching it on TV like we used to when we lived together. The footage on the TV was made using an image...
Oh wait, so you guys used to all live together? I didn't know that, I didn't know that. It's pretty cool. I also watched the space launch live as well. It was good. It was history.
...sequence, then I gave it an emissive shader. In the background, Skyfall is sleeping like a bat and Thomas is holding a Halo assault rifle. I updated the fan art wall, but I don't think you can really see it in any of the shots. But the purpose of this scene was to show Derp's inspiration for his trip to the moon. One of the old story ideas I had was to show Derp trying to build a rocket, but then he failed. And then he went up and looked through the telescope, and he saw his fish on the moon, which then motivates him to actually build his rocket properly now that he has a goal. But instead I went with the alien idea. I modelled a telescope, which Derp uses on the balcony to look up at the moon. And to create the effect of him looking through the telescope, I just used a simple elliptical mask in Sony Vegas. The pool sequence was a reference to an old TV show I used to watch called Thunderbirds. Probably none of you have heard of it. To do so, I...
Don't underestimate us, bro! Come on, Sam. I'm pretty sure there is quite a few people out there that know Thunderbirds. That's a little bit of disrespect right there, man. I used to love Thunderbirds too. My brother loved it a lot more than I did, though.
To do so, I isolated the pool in Blender and extended the sides down, gave it a floor, and just moved it underneath the map. But it was actually appearing above the terrain, so what I did was I keyframed a piece of terrain to just appear on the shot when it's moving underneath the map. The sound design here was pretty dramatic. And actually, underneath the map, there isn't really anything. There's no launch site. It's just a void. This rocket design was based off the SpaceX Starship. It was going to have like a giant Saturn V-esque rocket and a separate moon lander. But I tried to design a moon lander, and it wasn't really working out. So I went with the reusable rocket design. For the rocket's engine, I made a sphere and then cut it in half. I stretched it out, and I added a wave modifier to create the kind of
That's pretty
spitting fire flame effect. And then I added an orange emissive Voronoi noise texture to give it its colour. Then I duplicated it and made it smaller and brighter to have kind of the hotter centre. I really enjoyed doing the sound design of the rockets. That's probably some of the most fun stuff in this animation. I layered a bunch of engine sounds with explosions to really give it that oomph. Initially I tried using smoke.
See, that really makes me appreciate the time and effort. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, something so simple as the flames and the fire of a rocket engine. The detail that goes into it makes me really appreciate it.
Simulation to create actual smoke, since most of the launches you just see this big plume of smoke just like go everywhere. But smoke sims take so long to bake, and I was getting nowhere with the design. It looked pretty awful, to be honest. The particles were made using the same meshes we use for TNT explosions to simulate sparks coming out of the engine, which worked as a nice compromise to the smoke. The daytime lighting is getting a bit easier for me, with a low sun strength and a blue mist, and I had to lower the quartz material brightness as the sun was just overexposing them. And then Derp arrives on the moon. I made Derp's spacesuit look similar to his regular clothing by having the high trousers and belt in the same place. The moon map was created by Epic Necromancer. The link to that map will be in the description.
Okay.
It was a moon map made in the end, and it was one of the very few decent ones I found that had nice craters in the world and a giant mountain as well. I changed the material to sand and desaturated it to look like moon terrain. When the scene animation was finished, I isolated the areas of the map that were on camera and added a very similar hair particle system to the one I used in the previous scene. I used a collection of small stone assets to add detail to the otherwise flat terrain. The look of the moon was inspired by this screenshot from the KSP2 trailer. The lighting was a bit tricky as there wasn't really much terrain to take advantage of with mist, and the light coloured terrain usually gets pretty overexposed. I used a very subtle white mist to give the moon a glow from the bright sun. Then usually I had the sun at a pretty low angle to create those large dark shadows. The colour correction here just removed a touch of red and added a bit more contrast. The sky texture was a HDRI from the Pro Lighting Skies pack. The Earth model was made by Omoletto and featured in his Saving Sam's Tea animation.
I knew I had seen it before.
The moon was to take advantage of the low gravity for fun, to contrast the dramatic reveal. For those who don't know, this is a reference to my Worlds Apart animation.
I'm so glad he did that though. It's sometimes the small details that make a big difference, you know?
It's like going for those wallpaper shots. The entire scene that follows was initially going to be very different. Derp was only going to find a single
Well, let's have a little read of this. Derp lands on the moon. Derp enjoying his time in the moon, jumping around and throwing the fish. He throws the fish too far over the hill, finds a crashed alien ship. Alien takes the fish, but Derp gets it back. Returns to ship, but finds the alien has stolen it. Alien takes off, but Derp is attached to the outside. Derp breaks in and fights the alien, making the ship spin out of control. Ship crashes on the moon. Derp and the alien have to work together to get the new ship and return safely to Earth.
ship that crashed, and it wasn't going to be Drogue at all. I wanted a unique alien spaceship design to show the alien had crashed here all alone, kinda like the traditional flying saucer. Derp would then explore the wreckage and find the alien had stolen Derp's fish. They would have fought over it, and eventually Derp would get his fish back. The alien would flee and attempt to steal Derp's rocket, and what follows would have been the same. However, this idea didn't really make much sense, and was changed about halfway through production. It started with the struggle of coming up with a UFO and alien design, and then realizing the alien really didn't have any motivation to steal the fish in the first place. It was only there to create conflict, but it made the alien rather dislikable, and the conflict was kind of unnecessary. I had all these Worlds Apart assets that I could use, and it led to changing the scene entirely. Initially, the alien was actually going to be a Drogue, with blue energy to show that it was friendly. But it felt like it took away from the threatening aspect of the Drogue, and people might have started to see them as a joke. So I came up with a simple design for our little green friend here. Giving it tall black eyes and a small mouth really made it look kinda cute.
It did!
Getting the proportions right created some terrifying results.
Whoa, my god. Who squished Steve?
The green design was a little basic, so I gave it the indoctrinated Drogue armor, and it turned out pretty good. That also gives some backstory to what happened to the alien, and creates immediate sympathy for it, for those who have seen Worlds Apart, and know what that armor represents. The alien's weapon was a very basic ray gun design. For the VFX, I started with Varric's cannon projectile from Worlds Apart, and deleted various layers from it, adjusted the shape, changed the colour, and animated it to scale up and move forward when it's fired to create the propulsion effect.
That's so
cool. It was
cool.
originally going to be similar to the Fusro Dar shout from Skyrim, but I couldn't get it looking quite good. For sound design, I used a sci-fi plasma gun from the Boom library.
Okay, that's
The
good.
alien was animated with a bit more bounce to it, having it leap up to the fish like it's all excited and carrying the power source above its head later. And the alien's mission was to really build a rocket to return home. The rocket was a smaller version of the giant engines from the Drogue Fortress. Smashing it to pieces was a simple rigid body physics animation. I flew an icosphere into the side of it and decreased the strength of gravity to simulate the...
The best thing about that dude was seeing the little alien's face, like, what? I felt sorry for him, though. But like Sam's explained, he didn't want everyone to hate the alien for no reason, do you know what I mean? But if someone had just blown up your spaceship that you'd built for ages, you wouldn't be happy, and then a little bit of conflict would happen. Especially if it's a stranger, especially if it's Derp.
Moon's lower gravity. This event then created a reason for the alien to steal Derp's rocket later on. The rocket interior had a few Easter eggs. A piece of fan art by Assassin featuring the Derpy characters on a picture frame.
That's
the
cool.
Clock permanently stuck at 239. The Normandy from my favourite franchise Mass Effect. A can of Derp juice. Derp shotgun from Blocking Dead. And a laptop showing the Blender scene of a laptop showing the Blender scene. You get the idea. Interior lighting had a point light in the middle, with emissive ceiling lights above the shelves. The crash sequence had a particle system attached to the bottom of the rocket, emitting small stone particles. And now that the crash has happened, both characters have caused a problem for the other, giving them an opportunity to become friends and help one another. Usually our Derp animations end on a funny gag that's really intense, like the fish explosion in Tiny Derp. But I wanted a more heartfelt ending to really solidify the new friendship. They gave each other something to remember them by.
Okay, so I go back to what I said. They have done a Tiny Derp. But I'd love to see another one. Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
Derp gets the gun and the alien gets the rocket. This sequence contained kind of a throwback to Worlds Apart. Sam was there to comfort Derp, as he knows what it feels like to say goodbye to someone. Sunset lighting is always fun to do. Getting the nice orange mist towards the sun and low sunlight to create large dark shadows. The final sequence mirrors the opening, but with a contrasting vibe. The first scene has Derp all excited, and this one has him feeling rather sad. It was nice to end on a bittersweet moment. The Worlds Apart cameo was honestly just that. It was just a cameo. It isn't leading into a sequel. The story concluded in Worlds Apart 3. All in all, I enjoyed working on this one. It was nice to explore something I'm interested in, but keep it familiar to those who enjoy watching Derp be Derp. I want my next project to be more ambitious, but we'll see what I can come up with. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
So, no more Worlds Apart. I'm guessing people have been like, wait, is this like a teaser for another Worlds Apart? It's not going to happen. He's just confirmed it right there. But he said, like, he wondered what his next animation could be. I feel like he should let... I feel like you should let the community vote. Maybe do like a poll on possible things. I'm going to vote tiny Derp. There's so many different solutions for Derp, you know, but I think learning behind the scenes is super important. You really do appreciate how far these animations come when you start to hear the sounds and the details that go into it. And I feel like not enough people appreciate the behind the scenes, but it's definitely something I value. So thank you very much for making it. Apart from that, guys, if you did enjoy today's reaction, please be sure to hit that like button. Anything else you'd like me to react to, leave it down below. Have a great day, stay beautiful, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.